Wirtschaft, Steuern, Migration. Es gab ja dicke Bretter zu bohren bei den Koalitionsgesprächen von Union und SPD. Aber nach knapp 4 Wochen Verhandlungen haben sich beide Seiten auf ein gemeinsames Regierungsprogramm geeinigt. Die Spitzen von CDU, CSU...
So after the long election that took place on the 23rd of February this year, the German Bundestagswahl that took place on the 23rd of February this year, well, the German Grand Coalition has finally come out with a government. Well, it is something that lots of Germans have been waiting for, to know a day that this particular Grand Coalition will try to come out with a government, or based on all the agreements that both parties are going to make. When I say both parties, I'm talking about the union that is made up of CDU and CSU, as well as the Social Democrats, the SPD. Well, finally, as we heard from that report that you just watched there, is that a new coalition vertrag or contract has been signed by the Union and the Social Democrats, the SPD. Well, before we dive deep into that particular point, I want to make sure that you know that most of the key things, or some of the key things that you find in their coalition contract, will be based on particularly taxes, pensions, defense, as well as immigration, as well as digital transformation. However, will this unlikely alliance deliver its ambition as it promises? We have also seen situations whereby people have been calling for the future chancellor, chancellor, Friedrich Merz, to give up, because most of the things that he said during his campaigns is directly opposite from what he is doing now. Well, before I dive deep to some of these key points, I would just want you to first of all know that there are key policies that will be put in place: economic and fiscal policies, immigration and asylum policies, social policies, digitalization and infrastructure, as well as foreign and security policies. Well, the new theme, the topic, or the name of this coalition contract that was signed is called the Responsibility for Germany. Responsibility for Germany. Well, I will not say much as of now. I will just want you to watch the video. Please watch the video. The video is completely in German, but I will later come up and then explain the key points that the video explained. So please watch the video, and watch the video now.
Wirtschaft, Steuern, Migration. Es gab ja dicke Bretter zu bohren bei den Koalitionsgesprächen von Union und SPD. Aber nach knapp 4 Wochen Verhandlungen haben sich beide Seiten auf ein gemeinsames Regierungsprogramm geeinigt. Die Spitzen von CDU, CSU und Sozialdemokraten haben es eben vorgestellt. Und das sind einige der wichtigsten Punkte. Union und SPD wollen energieintensive Unternehmen mit einem Industriestrompreis entlasten. An den Grenzen soll es Kontrollen und Zurückweisungen auch von Asylbewerbern geben. Das Rentenniveau von mindestens 48% eines Durchschnittslohns bleibt bis 2031. Geplant ist außerdem ein freiwilliger Wehrdienst. Union und SPD sprachen bei der Vorstellung des Koalitionsvertrages von einem wichtigen Signal für Deutschland.
So, as you can watch from that video, or as you just listen from that particular video, the thing is, they are saying that the Grand Coalition has finally agreed, and they have finally signed a coalition contract. Well, the Grand Coalition will be made of the Union, known as the Christian Democrats, and SPD, known as the Social Democrats. These two parties, after that election, well, CDU or the Union, they had the majority. Well, since during their campaign, they made it clear that they will not work with AfD, that is to say the alternative for Deutschland, or the alternative for Germany. They already made this topic, so they had no choice rather than to form a coalition with the party that came third, which is the SPD. Well, this coalition between the Social Democrats and the Christian Democrats did allow them to gain a majority in the parliament. Majority in terms of numbers in the parliament after the coalition. Well, they now have the majority in the parliament after the coalition, which therefore means that they have more than 50% by forming this coalition. Well, in that particular report, there are key 4 points that I picked out that I want to share out there with you. Well, the first point that I would like to share here with you is they talk about the relief. They would like to relieve industrial electricity prices. We know that for the past years, as a result of high electricity prices since, let me just say, before or short before that Russian war, the Russian-Ukraine war, well, there have been electricity prices have skyrocketed, and this had made lots of companies to leave Germany and go particularly perhaps to other countries like the east of Germany and somewhere else. So they want to see now a means whereby they can make a relief to this industrial electricity so as to make sure that their companies do not go overseas anymore. And their companies also try to meet up with their targets with respect to production and other things. Well, the second point there is that there should be a strong border control and rejections, including asylum seekers. Well, there will really be a strong border control. This one is particularly talking about immigration. Strong border control, and they are planning that those who have been rejected will either be deported to where they came from or to their countries of origin. This is what will be put in place. The next point there is that the pensions level of at least 48% of an average which remains until 2031. These are just some of the things that they are planning. The average pension of at least 48% of an average which remains until 2031. But the question that most people would like to ask there is that, will this government still be there by that 2031? Of course not. The government will not be there. The Germany political atmosphere is not like that it's not similar to those of the Anglo-Saxon countries. The way the German system, the way the German political system is structured is completely different. It's not like those places or Anglo-Saxon countries whereby when you win the majority of votes, therefore means you have the highest. But here, when they are going for a German election, they call it Bundestagswahl. They call it Bundestagswahl, which is German parliamentary election. So they are not voting as individuals or per head, but they are voting for the parliament. And the majority of the parliament, those who have gained the majority of the parliament, then are those who are going to rule the country, who will be eligible to form a government. The third point that I picked out, which is something that they plan to do in the nearest future, is voluntary military service. That has not been put in place, but this is what they are planning to do, to make military service, to make this military service here in Germany to be a voluntary one. A voluntary one. Yes, this is something that they ought to do. But if you remember, I just make certain points which talked about Wirtschaft, which is economic and fiscal policies, tax reforms, debt break adjustment, and all those things. Immigration and asylum policy, we already talked about that stricter immigration controls. Social policies, pension guarantees, as well as minimum wage increase. We have already talked about this. And the thing is, it will no longer be business as usual. Why I say it will no longer be business as usual is those who will be receiving social benefits, they call it Hartz-IV, or they call it before was Bürger, which we changed to Grünsicherung. They will no longer be receiving that anymore. And the reason is they want people to really enter the job market. It's either you are working or you are doing a vocational training, but not just that, you sit at home and you're watching the TV. Yeah, and then the other point there is that there will be digitalization and infrastructure. So this is the point whereby they want to digitalize, to avoid bureaucracy. They would like to digitalize all the ministry. so as to avoid bureaucracy, because we all know the bureaucracy that is here in Germany, and we want to put more funds or more finance on building new infrastructure. What about foreign and security policy? Well, they want to put more money also on their defense spending, as well as EU and global engagement is also what they are thinking about, putting in more into these services. Well, we have all heard about this also. And if you find this video interesting, if you find the video interesting, please do not hesitate to like. Do not hesitate to like and also share the video. Also don't forget, share your comment with us. What you think about this new government or this new coalition contract that has been signed between the Social Democrat and the Christian Democrat. What do you think? And don't forget, if it's your first time coming across our YouTube channel, The Game Changer 17 minus TV, please do us that favor, so as to hit that notification bell and that subscription bell as well. And don't forget to continue liking and watching our videos, because by so doing, you help us. And when you are watching our video, don't forget to give the video a thumb up so that YouTube will recommend that video out there. As you do so, may God bless you. One key thing that you ought to know, or you also need to know, is that this our platform, the Game Changer 17 minus TV, is now fully open for business. It's now fully open for business. If you have your product that you would like that it be publicized or advertised out there, or you have a service that you want us to render that service for you, please feel free to contact us. Feel free to contact us. We are very open to all of this. We are very open to all of this. Yes, we are open now for business. We are open for publicity. If you would like to take your business to the next level, please feel free to contact us. Feel free to contact us. You can go to one of our videos and just contact us there. Write a comment there and we're going to get back to you. We're going to get back to you unfailingly. Thank you so much for your time. And as you do so, may God bless you. Take care and remain blessed. Bye-bye.